Hello and welcome to GCS Today here on Channel 21, the program that brings you news and information from Gaston County Schools. I'm Todd Hagans. On today's edition, we learn about the Gaston County Schools mentoring program and we meet one of our outstanding mentors. Joining me on GCS Today is Valerie Yatko. She is our Director of Business and Community Partnerships. Valerie, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Todd.
We are talking about the Gaston County Schools mentoring program. And so let's begin by telling us, what is the mentoring program?
Well, Todd, our mentoring program is entering its 26th year in Gaston County Schools. It is a program that is an added level of support for students that are identified by school staff that can benefit from participating with a mentor.
And 26 years, wow.
That is
impressive to know.
It is impressive, and to know too that thousands of lives have been touched, not just students but mentors as well.
Okay, so we are seeking mentors in Gaston County Schools. Last year we set a goal of having 300 mentors. We met that goal. We want 300 again this year and even more. So as people are thinking about the mentoring program, what does it mean to be a mentor? What does a mentor do?
Well, a mentor, simply put, is a friend with experience. And so many of our mentors who come from all walks of life come and share their time. And that is probably the biggest gift that a mentor can give to a student, is just to offer their time and their willingness to listen and just invest some time in the life of a young person.
And so a mentor, we have a mentor training that someone completes.
Yes.
There's a background check process, and then a mentor is paired with the school in that person's neighborhood.
Yes, the options for mentors, we are very, very flexible on that. You can let us know a day of the week that works best for you, a time of day, and we have coordinators at each of our schools that help to match your time availability with that of the student. Normally a mentor will meet with the student for up to an hour. It may be, depending on the age of the child, it may be 40 or 45 minutes, or it may be up to an hour. And that time is designed to be an enjoyable time for both the student and the mentor. It's not necessarily tutoring. It's not meant to look like the classroom. It is really about building a relationship with a student.
So a mentor may lead a discussion. They may talk, they may play a game, they may read a book. It's not, I think sometimes people think that, oh, it's tutoring, and it's different from that.
You're exactly right, and it really, again, as I said, is about building a relationship. So just as you build a relationship with a friend, you'll do fun activities together. So we do encourage our mentors and to explore with the child, what is that child's likes. And the other key factor in mentoring too is you are helping to expose that child to valuable life skills as well, through conversation, discussion, exploring things, as you said, reading, magazines, things of that nature, playing games. During that time, that's what builds the relationship, and the consistency of meeting with the student on a regular basis has proved to be very, very valuable. We've seen these relationships flourish to where mentors not only will commit for 1 year, but continue year after year. And I'm very pleased to say that we've had long-term relationships where mentors have seen their student graduate. That's the ultimate goal of our mentoring program, is to help ensure that every child graduates.
Yes, it's all about ensuring that student's success. And sometimes you may have a child who may face some challenges or some situations at school or at home, or and they need that role model. They need that positive influence. And that's where we see our mentors coming into play.
That's exactly right. And the other thing that our mentors often can do for our students too is help connect or help the child see the connection between what they're learning in school and how that might relate, to their future, whether it be careers, because many of our mentors do come from the business community, and they can share what they do, the skills that they need, why that particular subject that they're learning in school now is still used in their current employment. They can expose children to the different jobs that are available right here in our county. So they really do enrich the lives of the students that they come in contact with.
And I think it's interesting that you make the point that a mentor may begin with a child in elementary school. And
That's right.
We have mentors that follow their child to the middle school and then on to high school.
Yes.
And so it really is about making that connection and being a positive influence.
Certainly, and just offering encouragement along the way, perhaps even gently challenging the child to try something that they didn't think that they were capable of. The other wonderful benefit we have seen, as you said, mentors have followed their students to high school. And even in terms of future goals, many of our mentors have been instrumental in helping a child plan for post-secondary training, whether it be college, community college, technical training.
Getting a job.
Getting a job. And there have been instances, too, where the mentor played a key role in working with the school and through our mentoring program, but directing that child to an opportunity in the community.
Now, you have a mentor training every month.
Yes.
And we are currently accepting mentors for this school year. We need mentors in our schools. I like to think that we say that we have 300 mentors, and that sounds like a big number.
Sounds wonderful, doesn't it?
But when you say we have 32,000 children in the school district, and many of them could benefit from that mentoring relationship, it shows that we need many more.
It would be wonderful to double that number. 320 plus mentors is commendable and certainly have benefited those children, but there are many more children waiting to enjoy this opportunity to have a mentor. So I would encourage people. We do a monthly training. It's usually the third Wednesday of the month at the Gaston Regional Chamber of Commerce. And folks are welcome to come and even sit in on that training to make a decision if this is a good fit for them. So even after attending, you don't necessarily have to make that decision right then, but to come and hear about it and hear from other mentors as well.
And we also, when you have a church group or you have a business, the employees at a business that want to be a part of the program, sometimes you take your training on the road and you will go to them.
And I enjoy that as well. So yes, we are available to come to businesses, to church communities, organizations, and do a training on site. What we do find with those groups too is if there are multiple folks mentoring together, that only enriches the experience for the mentor and for the mentee. Lots of great ideas have been hatched through working together and mentoring as a group. So we encourage that and certainly welcome inquiries about that, and we can tailor those trainings to organizations as well.
The mentoring program is just one of the very important programs that we have in Gaston County Schools. And there is information on the Gaston County Schools website where you can go and you can find information about becoming a mentor. Check out the dates for those trainings, and we'll get people to those trainings. We'll get you signed up. We'll get you paired with a child, and you can start right away with that process.
You can make a difference in the life of a child, and those trainings do help equip first-time mentors with information to get started and to feel comfortable in that role. So yes, we would like to encourage people to come hear more about it, to possibly make a commitment. And we initially just ask for a one-year commitment from someone who might be interested in mentoring. The wonderful thing that we have seen time and again is that one-year commitment turns into 2, 3, 4, and long-term. And it is reports from the mentors is it's very rewarding. If anyone is listening today, the one thing I would like them to know is that one person can make a difference. We have seen that time and again. And to quote one of our favorite mentor experts who said, every child or many children are only one caring adult away from being a success story. And that's Josh Shipp, who has, I think, summed it up and framed that very nicely. And that's the story for many of our students in Gaston County Schools. We've had some successes in mentoring, and we'd like to continue that tradition.
We need mentors in Gaston County Schools. We're currently accepting them. And people that have questions and want to talk with you directly, 704-866-6329.
Yes, sir.
866-6329 to talk with Valerie about our mentoring program. We encourage people to get involved with that program. Valerie Yatko, our Director of Business and Community Partnerships, thanks so much for being with us today on GCS Today.
Thank you, Todd. Thanks for having me.
You are watching GCS Today here on Channel 21. We will be right back.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Joining me on GCS Today is Sarepta Cunningham. She is from Hummel, and we all know it as Wicks Filters in this community. She is a mentor in Gaston County Schools, having served at Robinson, Hawks Nest, and now at Lingerfeld Elementary School. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about mentoring. First question, why are you a mentor?
First of all, I'm just grateful that my job allowed any of the employees the opportunity to help encourage a young person. And when the email went out over 7 years ago, I went to the meeting and I was immediately just caught and captivated to be able to help another young person in their life along the way. So I've been involved with it ever since and loving it.
So 7 years, that's a big commitment that you've made to our schools.
Yes. And the first 4 years I was with a little girl, and she went on to middle school, and I kind of felt the weaning where, you know, some of them you stay with throughout. I've heard stories where they stayed throughout their entire school life cycle. But I could tell she was getting a little older, and she kind of matured a whole lot. And so I just looked on to taking another child. This time I wanted a boy. So now I've been with him this is my 3rd year.
Well, why is mentoring important to you? Why do you give the time to be a part of a child's life?
I wish the opportunity had been there, or I didn't know anything about it when I was a little girl, because I was raised in a single parent home, and I wished I'd had that extra encouragement to help motivate me in life to maybe not make some of the mistakes I made. So some of the children have different issues, different problems going on maybe at home, and just being that positive voice in their life. And that's what I love about it. That's just what I enjoy. And
I know that you see yourself as a guide and as a friend and as a role model for children. Why is that important?
That's important because it helps them to see a positiveness or something. You know, you don't know what's going on at home, and they need to see something that's encouraging and positive. If they see a consistency, that helps to change their way of thinking when they see that consistency. That's why I feel is important.
What do you think your mentee, if we had your mentee here with us, what do you think he would say about you?
He would say that he loved me because when he sees me coming, sometimes he hugs me so much. He's a loving little fella, and he just hugs on you and loves on you. But he does that with a lot of people. So I think he would say he was glad to see me, and he would be just as happy as he could be, because that's how he is when we come together.
Now, in the mentoring program, you've been involved 7 years with us, and you've been at 3 schools, 2 children. How do you know that you're making a difference?
I know when they're asking for me, if something comes up and then I'm not, if a week there's something and I have to change a day, or if I don't go, I can just tell that I'm making a difference. Actually, some of the parents have been involved to even say that, they know that the mentor, that I have made a difference in their life. The young lady, the little girl that I mentored with, she was really shy. And I could tell she was coming out of her shell over the time, and she began to interact with the other students, and her grades went up because she began to read. They couldn't get her to read in the reading programs, to do the reading programs that they offer. She started doing all that. So just seeing that, and seeing a child bloom into what they said they may have had issues with, and coming out of those issues, it just brings more joy to me than I think maybe I might be helping them with. I'm not really sure.
And so I guess that motivation and being that positive influence, I think you see yourself in that role, and you see yourself motivating the children to come out of their shell and to gain some confidence. Has that been your experience?
Oh yes, oh yes. Even with the little boy, he always would experience what he couldn't do and can't do, and some of the words I've always saying, I can do it, I can do it. And I would say, now what does Miss Cunningham tell you when he says he can't do, because that would be a lot of his vocabulary. And he said, I can do it. And he would just change, it would just change his whole thinking, especially when he was around me. He knew he could do it. So those words have been an impact into his mind. So when I see him for the first time this year, I'm going to say, what are our words for this year? And he said, I can do it. He will know that. So just implanting those certain seeds when you're dealing with a child on the level of whatever their shortcomings are.
Right. And whatever the challenges they may be
Exactly.
facing. They may have challenges at school, and they may have challenges at home, and it's just good for that child to know that there's someone there listening, someone caring and being there for them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Now, if there are people watching and they're thinking about, I don't know about that mentoring program, that might be something I'd like to do, what would you say to someone who is thinking about becoming a mentor?
I would tell them to give it a try. It's worth a try. I've even, one other mentor that I encouraged, he's no longer at Man and Humo. I encouraged him to get on the mentorship. His first experience, he couldn't connect with the little fellow. And I still kept encouraging him, and they gave him another fellow. And the thing about it, I kept encouraging him to do it, because he still didn't know what kind of impact he was making on that young man's life. Regardless of him not wanting to connect with him, he was still showing him that he was coming. Regardless, I'm coming. And then the next little boy, he just clung on him. So, still even in that, with the bad experience at first, I still kept talking to him to keep him up, to keep him encouraged to mentor. Just knowing that you can help change a little person's life, from whether you're in their life for 3 years, 4 years, 1 year, for the rest of their life with a positive change. I would encourage you to give it a try. I would encourage a person to give it a try.
Do you feel like you are making a difference in a child's life?
Oh yes, I know I am. Yeah, I really do. Yeah.
And why is that so important to you?
From the beginning, when I said I wish mentoring was around when I was in elementary school, just for when you see the different impacts that it's made, because even with the first young lady that I mentored, little girl that I mentored, she's now in 8th grade. She still keeps in contact. Her mother still keeps in contact. So just knowing that you've made that difference, that is a lasting effect, and you still hear about it later, it just, I don't know, it's just the joy of knowing that you've made an impact and you see it. The evidence, the proof is in the pudding. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
There are a number of mentors that we have from Wix, from Man Hummel, that participate in our mentoring program, as well as a lot of other businesses and community members that are part of this program. So your words to them, anyone thinking about it, is to go out there and do it, right?
That's right. That's right.
So Rep. Cunningham, we appreciate all that you do for our schools through our mentoring program, and we appreciate you being with us here today on GCS Today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching GCS Today. Stay tuned to Channel 21 for the latest school news and information. We look forward to seeing you next time.